on to the next one. This one is going to start with a base graph at, again, 1, 0, and the next point will be 2, 1, because this has a base of 2. And the vertical asymptote, let me hold that down there, vertical asymptote is going to be at, again, the y-axis, x equals 0. Okay, let's apply our transformations. We're going to add the 1 first. That actually means left 1. So 1, 0 is now at the origin. The other point is now going to be at 1, 1. And the vertical asymptote will now be x equals -1. After we've done that transformation, the height is going to be multiplied by -2. Basically, this is going to reflect the graph across the x-axis and make it taller. So I'm just going to write -2 tall. The y-coordinates here are going to get multiplied by -2, which leaves the first point at 0, 0, but the second one becomes 1, -2, and there will be no change to the vertical asymptote. We then have a +3 at the end, which means up 3. So our key points will change to 0, 3, and 1, 1. Now let's graph, starting with our vertical asymptote at x equals -1. This will be parallel to the y-axis here. Our 2 points we identified were 0, 3, and 1, 1. Which I'm now going to plot in here. Remember, at one point we were reflecting across the x-axis. That's why this graph is going to look like this instead, coming downward instead of going upward. Okay, let's apply this same concept to an exponential equation. Typically, our exponential equations, if we just had y equals 3 to the x to begin with, would go through 0, 1 and 1, 3, and it would use the x-axis as a horizontal asymptote. That would be the shape of y equals 3 to the x. Now let's look at these 2 key points that I highlighted there. We highlighted, and I'll write again, base points we had were 0, 1, and we had 1, 3, and we had a horizontal asymptote at x equals 0, also known as the y-axis. Whoops, let's show you that. Now let's look at our transformations. If we were to substitute a number in for x, the first thing we would do is we would add 2. That for us is going to refer to 2 units to the left, which would move this to -2, 1, and -1, 3, and the horizontal asymptote would now be x equals 0. Actually, that would still stay the same, wouldn't it? Then we have a -1 at the end, which means we're going to move down 1. And so our points will be at -2, 0, and -1, 2, and the horizontal asymptote will be x equals -1. So let's go and draw that in. The horizontal asymptote at x, let me do that in blue, red. -1 is right here. Our graph, we said, is going through -2, 0, and -1, 2. Now you could just look at the 2 points we had there and go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. But I gave you a mathematical way of doing it. And here is, we probably should go a little bit further to the right there. There is our graph that we're looking for.